So it never fails. I start working on something, think that I get a better idea for working on it, and then I have to go and change the whole damn thing. I never was terribly good at planning ahead at the academy. I was always better at just putting something together and then seeing if it worked. And if it did, great. And if it didn't, well, now we gotta take the whole damn thing apart again and try it again. Trial and error. Unfortunately, I do more learning that way than I probably should. But for now, the air vent touch-up is fine. I can see I've got pressure. Let's make sure that we've got this thing set up. Check the depressurization. That seems to be fine. I'm not really happy with where this goes. I think I'm going to be moving my O2 generator though, so let me cut this out of here. I've got a better spot for this set up outside. Let me make sure I'm going to have to play with the sensors on these doors a little bit. Those are not quite where I want them. If I accidentally wind up opening both doors just from barging through, then that's going to be a disaster. So instead of having the O2 generator inside the room, taking up all my precious floor space, we're going to put it outside the room. The idea being that if I can put solar O2 generators on top, then I won't be so dependent on harvesting ice. And I think I'm looking at putting an air tank, O2 tank up here. Let's think about this for a second and see about what we're doing. So now I have a great big hole in my wall. Let me go ahead and seal that off. Now if I could just figure out, we've got all the Gatling turrets, everything's armed, that's good. Got all my O2, got everything tied in here. So now the ice is back in the O2 generator. I've got more O2 bottles and hydrogen bottles than I know what to do with. So now what's next? We've got to get the plumbing all set up for this thing. One of the issues that I have with the existing system is the fact that every time I open that big airlock door, or every time I access that big airlock area and then open the airlock door, I wind up with a bunch of air going outside. Now I've got an air vent designed to draw that surplus air out of that room. If I can figure out, yeah, it's already set to decompress the area, but it's not plumbed exactly right. So let me see, we can play with this and get this set up closer to how it's supposed to go. Going to have to cut this out. Then we need another. Alright. Well, if we're going to do that, then we don't need a conveyor. We can make do with a straight pipe. I don't think I have enough material to do all of this, but then again, I might. Nope, I thought so. Small steel tubes. Okay. Fortunately, I've got enough conveyor pipe running around underneath the complex that this really shouldn't be a problem. Now, what is this thing doing? What purpose does this thing serve? I think if I just cut this out, yeah, that's not attached to anything. What the hell is that doing there? So I obviously don't need that either. Now, where was I before I was so rudely interrupted? There we go. And we get this taken care of here. Now, once I get this done, then my O2 generator will be able to pipe air into my airlock and will be able to take surplus air out of the airlock. And I might as well come over to here. We've got all of this conveyorage. Conveyorage? I'm pretty sure that that's not a word. Maybe I did hit my head when I crashed. We've got all these conveyors over here just doing nothing. And waste not, want not. So let's cut all this apart, get it over here, get this plumbed. It figures I've got 2 years as a technical engineer and I've got 4 more years at the Space Academy, and I wind up running plumbing on the moon. Now, that's what we're looking for. Now, if I did that correctly, any air that gets drawn through that air vent, if I set it to decompress, then that should take all of the air out of that area and keep it. So the little bit of air that I'm losing going in and out of the door should be reclaimed, so I'm not wasting it. That's what we're hoping. So now we've got a conveyor all set up here. Oh no, that's my cargo container. So now let me come back over here, recharge everything. I'm going to have to get this ship fixed or build another one. And now I think I need to get ready for the arduous task of moving all of that stuff. Yeah, let's start moving all of the stuff, and that means I'm going to need to be able to carry a lot of stuff. Well, the sun has gone down, so apparently I either slept longer than I thought, or the lunar cycle is faster than I had thought it was. Either way, the sun is down or just getting down below the horizon. With any luck, I'll be able to get the array fully functioning again, but since it's just me, I have a lot less power requirements. And with any luck, the batteries will be sufficient. I'm not working on any heavy equipment right now. Nothing's running, no assemblers or refineries. The journey of 1,000 steps and all of that. Whew. Well, whatever it was that took this place out sure did a number on this room. Looks like some of this is going to have to be working on the underside. I'll blow that bridge up when I come to it. We've got a conveyor system set up here, so it's possible. Unfortunately, it's shot. Well, no point leaving that there then. That's just going to confuse the issue. I'd like to write home and tell everybody that I'm doing incredibly technical work, but I'm actually just building a box. And since somebody else built it ahead of me, I'm not even building a box. I'm rebuilding a box. See how far I can get into the room before I actually run out of material. Looks like I'm going to be able to get close to the other airlock. Try to make sure I'm not going to fall through the floor. What's left of it. Okay, well, that's going to be a lot of cutting and welding, but let's check the status of this door. Well, it looks like I have a secondary airlock. And that is a good thing. I'm glad that there are no sensors on the inside of that door, otherwise I may have just depressurized my living quarters. Alright, this is where production is going to go. Whew. What a mess. Well, might as well get back to it. Well, it's ugly, but once I get it all welded in, at least it'll be airtight. There's a conveyor leading out, so that's going to have to be where my assembler goes. And as a matter of fact, I might as well set that up now so that I don't forget. After I get done with this, it's been a long day. I think I'd better rack out for a while. I do have to try to figure out a system. Need to change the design in such a way that I can actually move from one of these compartments to the other without having to go outside. That's going to call for a change in the design philosophy a little bit. But hopefully it shouldn't be too radical. All I need to do is put a passageway leading from the hangar to the industrial section. Just got done repairing the building and now I'm walking around cutting holes in it. Well, this is what happens when I get a burr under my saddle about something. Now I can go ahead and roof that over. I should, to follow safety protocol, I should have an airlock in between. But I don't really know that that's going to be necessary or feasible. Well, in any case, enough for today. I have no idea how long night lasts. I'm going to have to see if I can't set up the sensors to tell me that. But that's for tomorrow. Right now, I just need some sleep. Yeah, that seems to work a lot better. Alright. This is Darkaiser signing off. As usual, once I got myself all mentally prepared to work on something, I couldn't let it go. Tried sleeping, and that wasn't too horribly successful, so I decided to get back up and finish some of the things that I had started. One of my instructors at the academy told me that he thought that I was very talented. Unfortunately, I tended to be a little squirrely. I tend to start too many things without finishing them. And I think, in retrospect, he was probably right. I managed to start the tunnel and almost get it done, going from the landing bay over to what is going to be the maintenance area. And then, of course, I didn't finish it. And I started the assembler and only just now finished it. Gotta remember to shut that door. Now, I'm out of steel plate, so I've been scavenging from the other end of the platform. What I had left in the cargo container is gone. I threw down just enough catwalk so that I could more readily travel from one side to the other without having to burn up all of my hydrogen. So now I managed to schlep all the way over here, and I cut off a few blocks, scavenged myself some steel plate, try not to fall. As I mentioned before, I'm something of a klutz, so the idea that I'm working under about 25% Earth normal gravity actually helps me out quite a bit. So I'm going to finish up the tunnel, and then I'm going to weld up the manufactorum, for lack of a better term, so that at least that area will be sealed and airtight. And then I can cut down on my O2 usage because I'll be able to move from one to the other. It'll also speed up the process quite a bit. Going through the main airlock over here on this side with that big ass door, that tends to be a little bit tedious. I have been noticing the signals in the distance, which are still coming across the HUD as enemy signals, but they haven't moved, haven't done anything. They're 4 kilometers away. I haven't heard anything from the neighbors, and if they're going to register as unknowns or enemy signals, I kind of hope that I never do. One of the problems with the system is the fact that anything that is an unknown quantity is listed as an enemy. And I'm going to have a whole bunch of steel plate laying around on the deck until I actually start welding this stuff up. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to weld everything just enough to get atmosphere integrity. I'm going to do a pressure test. If it turns out that everything is hunky-dory, then I can go ahead, pressurize the area, and then finish the welding under pressure. Lots of stuff to do. The passageway seems to work out reasonably well. Probably going to have to make a couple of small changes. For instance, this thing that's going to be an annoyance. And I should probably put that there just for structural integrity. And I'm eventually going to have to come back and scavenge all of these conveyor parts. Oop, talk about falling. There I go again. I'm going to have to scrounge all of those conveyor parts. An awful lot of very important stuff going on in there. Alrighty, let's see if we can get... I'm debating on glass for the roof. To be perfectly honest, I don't really see a point. Not only would it use up an awful lot of silicon, which I think would be better spent making displays and computers for... This is becoming very tedious. I do have a few other... Let me see what we have going on here. Yeah, we're carrying way too much stuff. Oh, we do have a few steel plates left over. I just know at the point that I stop carrying the machine gun, I just know that something bad is going to happen, because that's the way my life is. But I have to say, lugging around all of this extra gear for safety's sake, I can understand how people make dumb mistakes. It's very tedious and frustrating. Trying to be cautious all the time is very telling on the psyche. That's how people get tired. That's how people make mistakes and do dumb things. And of course, then you wind up seeing the training video that shows someone doing something stupid, and everyone says the same thing. How could he possibly have done something that stupid? You have no idea what transpired before that particular scene in that particular video. You have no idea how long the person had been awake, how long they'd been working, how many hours, how many days they had been working alone, normally alone. Most people that make stupid mistakes are working alone. That's one of the things that has not escaped me. I wonder if I still have I still have power in this thing. Recharge my suit from here. Yep, okay, this works. Going to have to get the ship repaired. See if I can't use it as both a utility vessel and a scout. I'm going to need more materials if I'm going to survive. And traipsing about on the surface of the moon on foot is just not feasible. I was about to say, one of the joys of low gravity is the fact that I can leap over the gap. One of the drawbacks of low gravity is I can jump too far and then fall through another gap. Like I said, 1/4 gravity, very forgiving, but I need to stop taking that for granted. Some of these areas are more badly damaged than others. I have to be careful. I'm going to wind up really shearing something off. And of course, if I'd been more clever, I would probably have left myself another way to get over there. But, as I said, if I had been more clever. Okay, so I think we're finishing up on the manufacturing room. I have some areas that need to be cleaned up a little bit, but that's mostly cosmetic. So now we need to actually seal everything up. Oh, that's right, I've got a door that's not done yet. We need displays, computers, and some bulletproof glass. Let me go and do that now. No point in going through the effort of sealing all of this up only to have a great big door sized leak and everything. And there we go. Okay, that's all set. Of course, I have to put in sensors and whatnot, so this entire area should now be sealed. Now, I don't think these vents are connected to anything. And then I hit my head. Okay. That conveyor goes into the system, comes out to here, I'm not sure why. This comes under, this is a cargo container, that's another conveyor, goes to the defense turret. And none of this is connected. Oh, here we go. And it all goes over there, but it doesn't go to my O2 system. So this we can fix. And I think I'm officially overloaded of crap. Yep, I am. Okay. Now, that's the O2 system, and that's the other. Okay, so drop that down. Put that in. It's funny, I always hated plumbing when I was back on Earth. Now it's essentially going to be the life-saving skill. Now we come back over here and check everything out. I knew it. Gonna have to adjust those sensors. Okay. Now before I get too serious, that ought to be fine. And there's the air pressure from the other room. Nope, we've got a leak. Nope, not pressurized. Now, as my mother used to say, well, shit. Well, let me run around and finish welding everything and see if that fixes it. And there we go. Obviously, I had missed something because now we have pressure. There we go. Okay, now we have atmosphere. I'll tidy up all the rest of this crap later. We have atmosphere there. That means we have atmosphere here. Oxygen is low, but now all of this can pressurize. This is quite a large space. I don't have any vents in this room, and I'm going to have to fix that. But there we go. Walking around, helmet open. Still worried about the whole enemy signals thing. But now I have a working space here. I want to put in a pressure door somewhere. Not sure where would be good. Well, again, I'll worry about that later. I started working on medical bay for the eventuality that I will be injured. I bumped my head in the crash, and fortunately it wasn't anything too serious. Alright, now let me seal this up because I need to go outside. Interior plates, metal grids, large steel tubes, all of the usual stuff. Oop. I was just talking about having a medical bay, and then I go running outside in a depressurized room with my helmet open. Oh, how stupid can you be? Well, that could have been a Greek tragedy. More interior plates, displays, metal grids. Let's try shutting the helmet this time. Gonna have to see about a faster procedure getting in and out. Like I said, this door, tremendous waste of time. We have the assembler up and running, but we don't have any raw iron in it. I don't loathe to disassemble anything that I might need more of later. Now that's the other door. Oh, there's a hydrogen bottle I missed. It's the other door from my airlock. So here we are, last trip. There we are. Our wonderful and talented medical bay that will dispense all of the meds necessary to heal the dumbass thing that I did to myself earlier. Go ahead and pop open the helmet. And now I really am going to get some sleep. Come a long way. Everything's doing very well. And I think I've earned a rest. Hopefully, I will have figured out what's going on with the lunar cycle. I have a sensor and a timer running. The timer switched on when the sun went down behind the horizon, and it should turn back off when the sun comes back up. So that'll give me an idea of what my lunar night is going to be, and that'll give me my day-night cycle. But until then, I'm tired. Good night.